I shrunk myself into the American dream, and now I live in Spain in my dream life. Hi and welcome. My name is TJ Schimmelt. I am a certified master pro coach that helps people coming out later in life, and I want to share with you a little bit of my story. I had done everything right. I was using the American Dream playbook. Maybe you're familiar with it yourself. I had the wife, I had the child, I had the career, I had the house, I had it all. Until all of a sudden it was all abruptly stopped and taken away. I was in a rather severe car accident coming home from my parents' house with my family in the car and just avoided a head-on collision. I ended up shattering the bones in my left hand, breaking my clavicle. I was out of work for months. And in the wreckage and everything, when I really should not have lived, I remember pulling myself from the wreckage, pulling myself to the edge of the road, and looking up and thinking two things. Number one, I can't die now. My wife is a stay-at-home mom. Our child just turned 1. I can't die. And number two, I never told my wife that I was gay. Well, after surgeries and physical therapy and all of that, I finally did come around to telling my wife and sitting her down and having that conversation. And it went surprisingly well. It didn't blow anything up. She had known that I was gay. She knew from when we met in high school. She had the thought that I had been gay. So it wasn't a big surprise to her. The issue was the next 10 years that I had shrunk myself for so long, living somebody else's dream, going by somebody else's playbook, that I could not change it. 10 years, I didn't feel like I belonged in the straight world. I didn't feel like I belonged in the gay world. I was stuck somewhere in the middle. And I thought I was staying for my wife. I thought I was staying for my child. And during this time, it was depressing. It was difficult. I was angry. I was very controlling with my wife. As I was trying to suppress who I truly was, it would leak out in other ways. I spent a lot of time trying to start my own business. I'm a magician, do magic shows, and I started a nonprofit. So I was always traveling, always away from home, trying to avoid. And it changed when I finally reached out to somebody else. Somebody that could look at my life through a different lens. And she said to me, "Do you want your child growing up believing that this is what love looks like?" And that just blew me away. And that was that aha moment that I needed, because the obvious answer was no. That I was trying to fit myself into this box. Everything looked beautiful from the outside, but on the inside, I had shrunk myself, and I was teaching my daughter that in order to be accepted in the world, that she needed to shrink herself. I was keeping my wife from finding her true love and what true love would look like for her. I thought I was staying in the marriage for everybody else, but I was being selfish by keeping them back. It became the best divorce, our friends said, that they've ever seen, because we came to it from a different place. I thought divorce looked like pain and anguish and screaming and yelling and trying to one-up each other. I thought divorce as a man meant that I could never see my child, that it was only on the weekends or every other weekend or one weekend a month and every other holiday. But we created our own divorce. We didn't use any lawyers. I came up with some ideas and we sat down as adults who cared about our child. And we worked out an arrangement where our daughter, Opal, would stay with my wife for 3 days a week. She would stay with me for 3 days a week, and then Friday was her choice day. We co-parented. We had holidays together as a family at my mother-in-law's house or at my parents' house. We still functioned as a family unit. I share this with you because I don't want you to live another decade shrinking yourself into others' expectations. I now am remarried to my husband Tyler, the love of my life, someone who truly understands who I am, that I can show him all the sides and I'm accepted for who I am. We have left America. We are living in Spain. My daughter Opal is now 20 years old. She moved with us to Spain. And we had sold the house, no more wife. All that American dream, all that ideal thing that I worked so hard to create. I left my job. I went through a bankruptcy, went through depression, left my job. All of that created now my own playbook from what I live from what I choose. And I'm no longer shrinking myself to live in someone else's ideal. I had done all the things, right? But there was still something in me, a small little door that had stayed closed all those years. And I don't want you to go another 10 years like I did. That's why I share this story with you. That's why I do one-on-one coaching with people to help them through this transition that took me 10 years to get that down to 3 months, 6 months, a year. You don't need to live another decade shrinking yourself to others' expectations. You can now accept yourself, embrace your magic, and live your dreams.